Hello, 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 and welcome to a fresh start. How are you? I hope you've had a beautiful weekend and space between our session last week and this us beginning this morning. I certainly hope that you have really, really, really had a beautiful time. Listen, I want to ask you something. Why are you waiting on others to give you value? Why are you waiting on others to give you value? We start out as children, wanting to get approval or acceptance from mom, dad. We do something, they yay, good job, or yay, all right, give me a high five, and we grow up learning to depend on others' approval or how others respond for us to feel like whether we are value or we are somebody, all this type of thing. Listen, I'm Shauna Grace, and I enjoy coming and sharing perspectives uh, from life, from the word, from daddy's word to start with, and then life. And daddy is God to me. God to me is daddy. That's what I call him. That's where our relationship has grown. I accepted him as my personal savior, and through his son Jesus the Christ, who is now my big brother, my eldest sibling. And so I'm excited about what he says in the holy writings, which we call the Bible, to help us to live everyday lives. The holy writings are not just for Sunday morning and Wednesday night or Tuesday night, Thursday night, whatever night you have your Bible study, uh, but it is for everyday living. And I love using that for that. Now, don't feel like, oh God, I didn't wake up to go to what we would call go to church. No, just hold up, just hold up, just hang around, hang around. You'll see that it's not that's not what this is about. Okay, it's about knowing how to live everyday life, and I'm excited that we get to have this session together. I want to welcome you to a fresh start, your fresh start. I want to welcome you to that because your fresh start is just that, yours. And every day is a fresh start. Every day. Okay. And I hope you have your mug with your beverage in it. Mine is coffee. And I hope that you have your cup with what if you don't drink coffee, whatever your beverage is, so that we are able to enjoy this session together. Okay. Mm. All right. We left off last week talking about uh, living in the land of uh, option, convenience, bare minimum, and devalue. And Daddy gave us an awesome. He gave it to me later on in the in that weekend, and I want to share it with you. And it blessed me. Um, I don't recall mentioning it Thursday, but yeah, yeah. It wasn't Thursday. I had to think there for a second. But he shared with me something transpired, and he shared with me. He said, "How do you allow people to make you an option when I gave everything to make you a priority. I want you to just let that soak in for a minute. Just let that soak in for a minute. How do you allow people? Now, this is what he asked me, to make you an option when he made you a priority. He interrupted his life with his son. He sacrificed everything, which was his son. That was everything. When somebody gives up their child, honey, that's everything. Significant others come and go. Spouses come and go. Not supposed to happen like that, but it happens. But your children, I mean, at some point they leave too. But your children is your legacy. Your children are that's who you live for. You know, if you're a real parent at heart, you live for those children. You know, you invest in your marriage, but you live for those children. And to have given the children that was his only child. He didn't have 2 or 3 more, you know, up in heaven if he let Jesus come down. That was it. He had to go without him for 30. Now, up in heaven, there's no time. Down here, there's time. He had to go without his son for 33 years. Can you imagine going without your child that long? 33 years. 33 of them. He went without, he sacrificed ultimately to make us a priority. And a lot of us, because we weren't taught that within the sacred walls on Wednesday night and Sunday morning, we were taught that we are so unworthy. We were taught that we are just nobody, and oh, it's just by the grace of God that he would even think of us. What? No. No. That's not how that go. Uh-uh. No. He made us a priority. You don't make something that's unworthy a priority. You know what you do with something where you throw it out because it doesn't have any value. Throw it out. You throw it out. But you are a priority. You say, well, Shauna Grace, how have I allowed people to devalue me? By what you allow, what you tolerate out of their behavior. The very first time that you find that you realize, because see, here's where the breakdown is. The breakdown is we are so focused on loving people that we don't pay attention that they're not loving us. We're so focused on making them a priority that we don't focus on are they making us one? We're tunnel vision. We're focused on loving them. We're focused on making them priority. We're focused on if they need us, baby, we're going to be there. That's what we're focused on. And what we don't understand is that's not fair to ourselves. That's not fair. Because if you're investing in anything, there should be an ROI. And what is that? A return on investment. Daddy invested in us. When he gave up, he made that investment of his only child to go without him for 33 years. And then the last year that he was here, the hell he went through, the beatings, the humiliation, the shedding of blood, the hanging, the nail to the cross. That's an investment. And that's why it hurts him when his creation doesn't, what's the word I'm looking for? When the creation does, his creation does not honor him, value him, make him a priority like he made us for. We do the same thing. We invest, honey, we invest. Let the record show, as Claire Huxtable would say on in court on the Cosby Show back in the 80s, 90s. And as Jasmine Crockett says today, let's be clear. You can't do that. You can't do that. And why are you waiting on somebody to give you value? I'll tell you why. We have been shaped to do that. As I previously said, when our children, when we're growing up as little babies, you know, mama and daddy being proud of us and clapping, yay! They made us feel like we were somebody, we'd done something big, you know, this big smile and clapping, and oh, they picked us up, they hugged us. Oh, it was just amazing. And when we learned how to walk, oh, they made such big to do. Excuse me. So we were shaped to go by how others respond to us, whether we had value or not, whether we were doing something good. Excuse me. That's what's happened all our lives. We graduated from kindergarten, which back when I was coming along, they didn't have graduations. You passed kindergarten. I mean, I don't know no child that didn't pass it, because kindergarten is basically a learning of your world, okay, and different your alphabets and your colors and all this kind of thing. So, I mean, I don't know nobody from kindergarten. That would need to go in the Guinness World Book of Record if you flunked kindergarten. And then you went on to first grade, and you went on to second grade, and on down the line. And when you brought home your report card, excuse me, if it had all A's, whoa, whoa. Even if it had A's and B's, hey, oh yeah, you know what you want to do, where you want to go. We're gonna take you out. We gonna celebrate. Look what you've done. If you brought C's and D's home. What's this? What's this C doing up here? D? What you been doing? Then you want to call the school, have a conference with the teacher. What's my child doing with C's and D's? Your child ain't done nothing. Your child done the bare minimum in my class. Then they keep the work, so they show this is what your child did. You get what I'm saying? So our environment taught us whatever somebody else thought about us, that's what we were. If somebody else thought we had value, we had value. If somebody else thought we won't, we were just somebody, somebody, nobody, nothing much, then that's what we thought about ourselves. It's been a cycle for generations. It happens today. You have Ivy League schools, and then you have what we call regular school. You understand what I'm saying? If you came from Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Cambridge, oh, Morehouse College, Princeton, oh, you were big time. Where I live, if you come from ECU, East Carolina University, oh, I mean, employers just looked right at your resume as soon as they saw ECU or any of those other schools, universities that I named. They didn't even look at your work. The fact that you came from one of those schools, yeah, you on board. Because it makes their business looks good, that they can say, oh, so and so is our whatever, they from Harvard, or they're from Yale, or Stanford, or whatever. They don't say much about you if you come from a community college. They don't say much about you if you just from a regular school, what they would consider regular school. They just say, oh, this is our executive director. They don't say you from uh what we say. I just make up a school. Western College from whatever, wherever. They don't even mention the college you came from. Why? Because you didn't come from one of the outstanding or Ivy League schools. You see where I'm coming from? So society, our environment, puts value on us. And because we're not taught that you don't let anybody put value on you, you put value on you. You put value on you. You can go out in a pair of jeans and a shirt, and folk will be like, oh, they just regular people. You go out in a suit and a tie, and immediately folks say, oh, that's somebody big there. Look at that. And don't have cuffs, men, on that suit. And Stacey Adams shoes or Stanford shoe, Oxford. Oh yeah, don't be in that, please. You get doors open and everything. You get the utmost attention because society put value on you if you look like that. But if you just come in with a pair of tennis shoes and jeans that, well, it's the style now for jeans to be tore all the way up, and a shirt, well, if you want help ass, they busy. They turn around, look at you, and turn right around and keep on doing what they were doing. But you walk in there with cuffs on your pants. Or if a young lady walks in, she's in stilettos, hair crisp, and the shoes she walking in make that noise that say, oh, somebody just walked in here. Let me give them some attention. You see what I'm saying? We have done this. We have done this. We've done this. And what we've done is not recognized it. And I don't, you know what? To be honest with you, I really don't think society really have paid that any mind, that that's what we do. Parents, we don't pay that any mind. We don't look at the message we're sending to our child, that if they make A's, straight A's, or if they make A's and B's and make the honor roll and the principal leaves, oh, there's somebody special. They big. Well, if they don't make A's and B's, they still big. They are human. Everybody, school is not their thing. You can send them to a regular college and they'll flunk out. You can send them to a trade school and they'll ace it, because there's something they're doing with their hands. There's something that they're doing with their brain, and they're putting something together. They're making something. They're crafting something. And man, they just, oh God, they come alive. You feel me? They come alive. Because why? They're in their environment that pulls that greatness out of them that's in them. Sitting in a college classroom with a book in front of them, they struggle. But being in a classroom where they get to do hands-on, they get to fix things, they get to see this is how this goes, and you fit this into this, and this makes this work, and that. Ooh, you just opened up a whole world to them. You get what I'm saying? But in our environment has taught us to wait on others to value us. If they don't act excited, ain't happening. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not happening. It's not happening. You get what I'm saying? Not happening. It's not happening. That's just it. It's not happening. So, with that said, this week, we're going to be talking about how society has shaped us to think our value depends on somebody else. Now, somebody might say, oh, I know my value don't depend on nobody else. Honey, my value depends on me. But do you act like it? Do you act like your value depends on you? It's how you think about you. That's the question. I hear you telling me what you know, but your behavior don't say, your behavior doesn't back it up. Because the minute somebody doesn't really look at you in high regard, in high value, you feel some type of way. Now, for those of you that, you know, your value don't depend on nobody. I mean, bump that. My value does not depend on nobody but me. God values me and I value myself. Anybody else, I ain't even concerned. This is not for you. This segment right here, not for you. You go on and find the segment that is going to talk to the issue you do have, because you don't have this one. Okay? And I get it. But for those of you that do, see, I've been there. Oh, I've been there. Every area of my life, I have been there. So that's why when I come, I can talk about it with passion. The things you hear me talk about on these sessions, I can talk about it with a passion because I've lived it. And Daddy have brought me through it. And he's continuing. He's continuing to bring me through it. You get it? He is continuing to bring me through it. And I am excited about it. I am. I'm excited about it. Because, whew, y'all, let me tell you, when you come to the realization of the things that we discuss here concerning your fresh start, you retraining your brain to think in a different direction than what you've been raised to think in, honey, life gets some kind of good, exciting, fabulous. Because now you're not waiting on nobody. You've come to the understanding it's about what you think about yourself, not about nobody else think. Who cares what anybody else think? Who cares what anybody else thinks? You get what I'm saying? And I believe that just listening to this session, you're like, dang, you know what? She is right. I hadn't even thought about that. And I hope even as parents, you start right now changing that over. Now your little 2 and 3-year-old baby is not going to understand you saying it's about what you think about yourself. They're not mature enough. That's not the age for that. But as your children, if you have children that are already maybe in first grade, second grade, third grade, especially fourth, fifth grade, and they're getting ready to go into middle school, start right now. When they come home, encourage them to do their best. Encourage them to do their best. If they come home and amongst the A's and the B's, there's a D somewhere, or amongst the hundreds and 90s, there's a 65 somewhere. Okay? Don't you sit and tell them, okay, you see all that good you did? You see that 65 right there? That killed all of that. And make them feel like if they don't make a perfect score, they haven't done anything. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because as parents, your words carry power. But you know what you do? You sit them down, sit now. Tell me what you think about your report card. How you think this looks? What do you think about this? And if they say, Ma, I think I've done a good job, celebrate that. Say, well, you know, for you to be able to say you think you've done a good job with that 65 sitting there like that, that lets me know you know how to focus on what you do good and work on what you do bad to make that good. You get what I'm saying? Because what you're doing when you do that, you're telling them, I'm interested in what you think. I could put a value on this report, but I want to know what you think. Because what you start right now, training their brain to shift in the direction of is, it doesn't matter what the professor think. It don't matter what your classmates think. It don't even matter what I think. It matters what you think. I'm a person like everybody else. Now, I am your parent, so that puts me in a higher bracket than everybody else. But at the end of the day, what do you think? And this is what I want you to meditate on and join me here tomorrow as we continue talking about why are you waiting for folk to give you value. want you to go on today and watch out for ways that you do that. And I'll see you tomorrow.